So I'm going to tell you about the worst Pokemon card trade in history. First, you gotta know that my love for collecting Pokemon cards started like how most kids start collections. Right before I'm about to leave dinner at my grandparents' house, my pop-pop pulls me aside all sneaky-like.
"No, don't tell your mom, but take this."
Wow, are you sure this is like $1 million?
Yeah, just remember, don't spend it all in one place.
Okay, at first I didn't really know what to spend my newfound money on, because you're not really sure what to spend your money on as a kid. Heck, you don't even know how much anything is really worth. You're like, oh my god, I can go buy a brand new car. Nope, I'm gonna buy a house. No. Wow, this is just paper, huh? Okay. Well, I guess my friends are playing Pokemon. I guess I'll do that too. Now, every week I would go to get new Pokemon cards. And the weirdest thing is, we didn't even know how to play the game. My friends and I would just flip the top card over, and whoever had the highest HP won, which is very wrong. It's like playing chess like checkers, which we also did, of course. Am I alone on that, or did you do something similar when you were a kid? You like play a game completely wrong, and then when you're an adult, you're like, oh, I've been doing it wrong this entire time? Oh, okay. Anyways, playing like that got boring pretty quickly, so we devolved into no longer playing with the playing cards, but just collecting them. I fell in love, and I wanted absolutely nothing more than to collect them all. Every single dollar I would get from my grandfather, I would go and buy Pokemon cards. Eventually, my love for collecting kind of devolved into amateur gambling. Is this pack gonna have the ultra rare hollow foil, or is this gonna be another common swinub? Personally, at this point, the two hollows were Charizard and Typhlosion, and after months of my grandfather slipping me $20 bills, convincing my family to take me to random comic book shops across the state of Connecticut, and getting called a nerd by my older aunts, I finally did it. I pulled the Charizard and the Typhlosion, and my collection was complete. I actually forgot about all of that, because you know when you like grow out of something and you're just like, oh yeah, gonna shove that into the memory vault and lock it up and never think about it again. And that vault was cracked open after I watched a Logan Paul video where he bought a $6 million Pokemon card. At first, I'm like, why would anybody make such a ridiculous purchase? Until I remembered about my childhood, I did the same thing. You know, basically spending $6 million in kid money. This is where I got very upset, because my stroll down memory lane of collecting those cards, pulling that Charizard, pulling that Typhlosion, and those freaking swinubs, god damn it, I just want to burn them. And I got kind of depressed for the next few days because of, well, two reasons. Number one, you know, I thought it'd be really fun to see how much some of my favorite cards would be worth. So just for fun, I looked up a few of my prized possessions. I wonder how much a mint Charizard would be with a little left in the one-hand corner. How much would that be? I'm gonna be... $300,000 for that freaking piece of cardboard. Hypothetically, my whole entire binder could be worth $500,000. Now that you know all of that, it is time for me to tell you the worst Pokemon trade in history. So listen, it was the hottest day of the summer. My friend Lasher and I had just returned from the beach getting ready to head inside when we heard it. The sound every child loved and the sound all parents' wallets feared. I lived in the hood, so you know it had the remix to it. Lasher and I both looked at each other and flagged down the ice cream truck. We had to do the good old stalling trick. This is where we would stall so one of us could run inside and get money. We didn't really have to do this. If I was like, hey, I need to go inside and get money, the ice cream guy wouldn't see that as an opportunity to be like, oh, I gotta get out of here. I don't know, it was just more fun that way. Anyways, Lasher comes back and he's like, Dante, his older brother, gave me money, but said you have to trade something for money if you don't have any money. I checked my pockets. Of course I didn't have any money. I just went down to the beach. So I told the ice cream truck guy, hey, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna run back home and I'm gonna get some money so I can buy an ice cream, because I really want that Pikachu ice cream, even though sometimes like the eyeballs come melted out or it's super deformed and never really. So I run home and I immediately go to my piggy bank and I crash it open. There is 2 pennies and a quarter inside. This was the first time I'm like, man, I really shouldn't have spent all my money in one place on my Pokemon cards. I haven't even touched those in months. Okay, I'm gonna grab this, a Rubik's Cube, and a book. So I went to Dante and I was like, Dante, what do you want? Dante picked up the Rubik's Cube, looked at all sides. He picked up the book, flipped through it. He opened the Pokemon binder and a smile went across his face. He was like, I'll take this. And so I had to decide, do I skip out on my ice cream, or do I trade my collection of Pokemon cards that I've been collecting for the past year, creating such a strong bond with all of these pieces of $500,000 for an ice cream? Was it worth it? Today, right now, absolutely not.